Hey guys, it's Chad here. Today is the 25th of April, and in Australia we take time and pause to think about the soldiers that landed in Gallipoli in 1915 and the subsequent wars that we've been involved in. We take a moment to think about that today. So when you're amongst your friends and family today, why don't you go ahead and think about the soldiers that have protected your country wherever you are in the world, and we just wish you guys the safety and happiness out there. So I want to take a few seconds right now, and we're going to pause, and then we'll get on with the show. Thanks, guys, for that. And on with the show. You're smart. You know to listen to a suggestion and make your own decisions, right? We're just two Aussie brothers talking shit about cryptocurrency, so do yourself a favor. Research the topic before doing anything financially. Now for that banging intro music.
Welcome to WTF is CryptoSpace. I'm Brett.
And I am Chad.
This podcast is all about the crypto space.
Before we start the rest of the podcast, we'd like to thank everyone for supporting us on this podcast and for heading over to Patreon at patreon.com/WTF CryptoSpace. Thank you very much for doing that. Or you can head over to our website, WTFCryptospace.com, and click on the link for the Patreon. But now, on to the shout out.
All right, Chad, this week, here we go. Shout out is huge.
It is. We had a big week this week with a whole bunch of people overseas as usual, and people from Australia. Just everyone. We had a massive download. Also, if you have been listening to the feed, you heard us announce that we did have a Patreon on that little secondary thing. So thank you very much for everyone who downloaded that. Brett, let's go through the shout outs. What's happening this week?
All right, so topping the list, Singapore. Then we've got Byron Center, USA. We've got Camperdown, Australia. Amsterdam, Netherlands, Wollongong, Australia, Belfast, UK, Utica, United States, Melbourne, Australia, Edmonton, Canada. Thanks, guys, for joining us, and Aurora, USA.
Hey, awesome. And the top countries this week are United States, Australia, Canada, Netherlands, Singapore, United Kingdom, Brazil, Sweden, Japan, hey guys, and Slovakia. So, Brett, we're going to move on to the topics of today's discussion. We are going to talk about South Korea's Bitcoin price premium returns as crypto markets climb to $385 billion.
Yeah, we've just skipped forward. We're past the 400 now, and we're in and off to the races.
The crypto market will get much bigger, former jpmorgan-banker has stated. Goldman hires head cryptocurrency trader, and we're going to give you a new segment, the resource/article of the week. Now, Brett, over to you. South Korea. Talk about South Korea. Come on.
Alrighty, Chad, here we go. So we're kicking up to 420 billion in the crypto market this week. We were down as low as about 275 just only a few weeks ago, and everybody was holding on. They had white knuckle syndrome where they're just holding on.
Yeah, holding on to the steering wheel. Yeah.
But for all those who have hodled, guess what? We are starting to head out the other side of this storm. Get this, understand this. In the crypto space, you are going to be throwing all sorts of different things. You're going to be throwing rocks and sticks and storms and all sorts of things. But hey, now that we're coming out the other side of the crypto storm, we are on our way up the next leg. So let's look at South Korea. So, over the past 7 days, the crypto market has increased in value. Huge percentages. And a lot of major cryptocurrencies also recorded 10-20% gains. But look, South Korea premium is back. I mean, what's happening down there is they are making profits on the 5 to 30% range. Now, there's a few different reasons, but the huge part is the FOMO. The fear of missing out.
Yeah. Exactly. And looking at this article we've got up in front of us, it says that it isn't just Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, it's Ripple, it's everything, and they were apparently cheaper in South Korea in comparison to the rest of the markets because they're their currency was doing really well at the time. So now they're all buying in, and they're back. They're back, baby.
And look, and this is huge, but remember that's ERC20 tokens as well, the Ethereum-based tokens, and things like Storm, Aeon, Zilka, OX, OneChain, and Icon, which did quite a huge performance already this year. So well done.
So this is very much like is looking forward for a country like South Korea, which is really good, and they're next to Japan. They're doing really, really well, just in general in technology and in life. But to see this happening means that we're going to see they're going to get more money and in more cryptocurrency is going to happen in their country. They're going to catch on more, which means that everyone next to them is going to catch on more. China's going to catch on, and everyone. So this is going to start to push the market up again.
Yeah, I'm going to start a rumor here, Chad, so I'll just put it out there. You imagine if Samsung, who's around 39%, around that point in the GDP of the whole of South Korea, the one company, you imagine if they started using cryptocurrency in some form in their technology?
Well, not only that, we could then be paying for Samsung in Bitcoin in Australia, because that's the phones. There's Apple, then there's Samsung. That's it. All right, next on the list, Brett, was crypto markets will get much bigger, apparently, says a former jpmorgan-banker. Look,
guys, we've been pushing this and we've been saying this for a few weeks now. And quite a few weeks ago, we started saying about the huge regulatory issues that are going to be coming to the crypto space. But on the same side, you've got that flip side of a whole heap of bankers who missed out on that first run at the crypto space. And they are getting in on this cycle this time round. They are jumping in.
And you know what's funny is the people that have been listening to this podcast are, first off, very intelligent. I'm going to say that
guys.
straight
You
out.
guys are awesome. You
guys are very intelligent, because not only that, you've been with us from the start. If you have been, if you joined recently, hello, you're still smart, because you're listening to things about the crypto space. You know, still 90% of the population are gone, that the Bitcoin, I heard about that in December whilst I was opening presents, and now it's gone away. I literally keep hearing the fact that it's gone away. There's no more Bitcoin, as if it doesn't exist anymore, which is, we all know, is horseshit, because it will always exist, because it's ones and zeros. But the fact that we're going to see this being implemented, and a guy from one of the biggest banking firms in the world is saying it's going gangbusters, and he can say that now because he's no longer there, is a big thing. And he's talking that it's going to be like $1 trillion worth in the next second. In the next couple of seconds, it's going to be multiple.
Well, Chad, actually, we can actually tell you when we'll hit that point. Hey, in one of our Patreon sessions coming up.
Very, very soon. If not, this week, straight after we record this podcast, we're going to record about that. But, Brett, there's one thing I always question about a guy like this. Would you say this guy would be vested in this particular information, or is he going to try and tell other people because he wants them to get in as well?
Well, they do something that's known as front running, and even though it's not technically a legal practice per se, it is commonly used with media, and they'll be able to do it for years and years. And what that means is that they're just going to already bank on a trade, and then they want their markets to come in and push it in a particular direction. So when things are going bad, suddenly 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 articles comes out going, oh no, everything is going to hell in a handbasket. But hey, this time you're coming out, and the article straight after this is going to be very similar, but we are on a hit up. Now, it's only the momentum is slower. You can feel it. It'll just pick up and pick up and pick up. But you watch. As we get later to this year, you're going to notice more and more.
Now, Goldman hires head cryptocurrency trader. What's this got to do with anything?
Well, what I love is that these big banks have been poo-pooing on the whole crypto space only but months ago. And then they sort of brought out these new investment products. They tested out the waters, and now they got a handle on how things are working in the crypto space. They're like, right, suddenly I think we're going to need someone to take care of this. So they've just hired Justin Schmidt as its new head of cryptocurrency trader. Schmidt previously worked quantitative trading firms 7-8 Capital LLC and WorldQuant LLC and he also has a computer science degree from Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Now, the funny thing is they hired him to be the head of the digital assets market to help them navigate. Now, that just sounds to me like a granddad hiring the grandson to come in and say, hey, how do I copy and paste this document? How do I copy and paste? Because it's so far beyond what they are capable of currently, they need some rando to come in and help them out, which is great because it means that they see there's a problem. They see there's the thing. They want to learn, but they just, they are still typing with 2 index fingers instead of their entire hand, which is weird because they had a typewriter. It's real strange that they can't convert that over. They've had fiat currency for all this time. They just should go, okay, it's just this other thing over here. Just don't worry about the technology so much and think about the assets because it's the same thing.
Now, see, they were writing this up. Now, in only 4 months ago, they opened their cryptocurrency trading desk, and they were announcing. So this coincided with Bitcoin being, just shy of about 20,000. And then what happened was everything, like I said, it was just huge. And then suddenly we rode down to the bottom and we've seen about a third. Now, that is not the biggest dip, as I'm sure Satoshi Light would say. It has not been the biggest dip in the crypto space, and I'm sure won't be the last one this year.
And they're also saying that they've been monitoring the developments of the crypto space for a while, but they've just decided to get Schmitty in, right? Schmitty came in and is helping them out just to make sure that the computers are working. And he's able to go, no, what you need to do is turn it off and turn it back on again. No, the other button there, that button there.
Right.
No. Control.
All right, so
control
while we're
C.
talking, okay. So while we're talking about Schmitty, there's also last week UK bank Barclays said that they're looking at a similar sort of program for the crypto space. Now, what's really interesting is these guys are very good at what they do. They've made money, huge money over the years, right? Do you think that they were bringing out a cryptocurrency trading desk at the height of the Bitcoin bubble? Oh, it peaked. Oh. And then suddenly they brought out this particular tactic.
Yeah, and then they said they also claimed it behaves like a virus. No, viruses tend to make you sick. Everyone can probably hear them up my nose right now as a virus. And that's because it makes you sick. But this just makes you kind of shit yourself. And then it's because we've got to remember everything's volatile all the time. It's kind of like giving a guy who's always angry a bit of gin. He'll just start swinging. And that's what's currently happening in the crypto space. Is it's going volatile. But you know what the thing that everyone forgets, that when what goes down must go up. I think that's how that saying is.
That's not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just move on. I'm not quite sure that's how that went. Yeah, I don't know. We'll work it out. Maybe after the show.
If I slide sideways, I go up. I can't remember how that goes.
Okay, but look, what we're doing is we're going to put a resource in. Now, we've talked about this, and this
resource of the week.
Are we getting some sort of big, deep, can we do some sort of voice? Can you put on something for us, Chad? Introduce it, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now being introduced to the resource/article of the week.
What is cryptocurrency?
Yeah,
everything you need to know. Yeah, no, I'm reading chat off the screen.
Sorry. Yeah, okay. Go for it.
So the ultimate guide, okay? Now, they say it's the ultimate guide until the next ultimate guide comes out. However, we found this resource to be quite good. This actually comes to us from blockgeeks.com, blockgeeks.com. And
now, my favorite part about this is it has infographics in there. It says how Bitcoin works. Now, we have covered that in the podcast, but if you're new to the podcast, hello again.
Hi.
We have this. I'm a visual guy.
Start binge watching the rest of them.
Yeah, go back to the start. There was 12 episodes where we were really funny at the start of the show. So it has infographics on there that show you how blockchain works, how the things work, the theories of it. It's got a bunch of cool things. It's even got a picture of how the old school way of running GPUs.
Oh, there's Bob and Alice. That's awesome.
Oh, Bob and Alice.
I remember those guys.
Bob and Alice. Remember? And then Bob married Alice, and then they found Charlie, and Charlie was like, threesome. And he's like, wait, that's weird. And then it's like, they're no longer together. Alice went off with Charlie, and Bob's just there. He has no house. They had to halve the house with a chainsaw. Anyway, resource of the week this week is blockgeeks.com. It's what is cryptocurrency. It's got everything you need to know in there if you're new to the sitch, Brett. It's got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Monero. It's got all the explanations, what everything does. So that's what that is. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. As we are now on Patreon, for all our new donors, you'll get exclusive Patreon-only content. And this week, Brett will be talking about Bitcoin and when its next high will hit from our expert sources. And you guys can have that in your podcasting feed, the exclusive podcasting feed, for just as little as $2 a month. You'll have access to that show and so much more. So, guys, head over to our Patreon site, patreon.com/WTF CryptoSpace, or head to our website, WTFCryptospace.com, and click on the Patreon button there. You'll have access to that feed and so much more. Brett, we have a Twitter.
WTF CryptoSpace.
Brett, we have a Facebook group.
Well, we may not for much longer if he keeps telling fibs. Do you know Do you know if we recently at one of their hearings, what happened was they asked him, "Did you want to tell all the audience where you were staying last night?" And he goes, "Nah." And he goes, "Well, then why do you expect everybody else to?"
Yeah, that's pretty good. But if you, whilst it's still in existence on Facebook, we have a Facebook at CryptoSpace. It's a group. Go and join that. We also have a website which is WTFCryptospace.com.
WTFCryptospace.com.
Guys, also click subscribe on your podcast feed to get your weekly update from us knuckleheads every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. But until next time, I'm Chad.
And I'm Brett.
Let's get excited about the crypto space.
The transition has begun.
Do 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 do.